We will continue on with our media availability for Sunday's Hollywood Casino 400. We're now joined by Martin Truex Jr., driver of the number 78 Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boats Toyota for Furniture Row Racing. Martin, big accomplishment for you this weekend, your 400th NASCAR Sprint Cup Series start. What's that mean to you?
Well, I didn't even know about it till Ferroni told me 2-3 days ago and asked me what I thought about it. So it was kind of a wow moment for me. It's obviously a big deal, but it's hard to believe that many races have went by so fast. I feel like just yesterday I started my Cup career, so it's very cool. I'm very proud to be around for this long, and even more proud that some of our best days have been here lately, and hopefully we can keep that going for a long time.
Awesome. We'll start with Randy, and then we'll work to Claire. Can we get Randy a microphone?
Martin, Randy Kovich, Kansas City Star. You've done everything here at this track but win.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to tell you the heartache you've had, 173 laps, 170. So what's your attitude coming here? Does it spook you coming here, or does it give you confidence that this is the breakthrough win?
Yeah, I definitely get a positive vibe coming here, positive feeling that, we've been so close. We've done just about everything here but win, and I feel like it's time for us to make that happen. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've come here more confident. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how the weekend goes and seeing if we can finally close the deal here. I feel like we can do it, and just ready to go out there and give it a shot.
Go to Claire and then to Kenny.
Claire Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Your team not testing at Homestead this coming week. A lot of conversation about that. Team statement that if you were going to save the energy, or the team's going to work on getting in the next round and progressing on. Can you talk about that decision?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot that's went into it. We actually skipped Chicago test as well, went there and won. So, I mean, that certainly plays into the decision a bit. I think for us, it's just been, being in Denver. Homestead's a long way from Denver. Just trying to make sure we're focused on the right things. We feel like testing, honestly, has not really done anything to help us along. We feel like our time is better spent at the shop, getting prepared. Just seems like every time we've tested this year, we've gone to the racetrack and spent the first day and a half trying to regroup and figure out where we need to be. So it seems like it's probably hurt us more than helped us, and it's just kind of our mindset going forward that we feel like we'll be better off if we don't go.
Will you get enough information then from the liaison team of Gibbs? If you get enough from them that you really don't have to go, or will you miss a chunk of it that you guys will make up?
Well, I think we'll get certain information from TRD and tire data and things like that, and then it's just about filtering through it and making sure that you run the sim properly and have the right kind of mindset or outlook going into the racetrack of what to expect and what you think you're going to need to do. So I think we'll be just fine. Obviously, it's worked for us in the past here lately, and especially, and again, just team feels like that's the best way to go for us, and they've done a good job of making good decisions this year. I'm not going to question it.
Go to Kenny and then to Nate.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Martin, you're one of only two drivers to have multiple wins in a round in the chase. What did win in that first win at Chicago that you mentioned? What did that do for you guys going forward?
The first win was huge. I mean, it just that relief, that feeling of relief. Okay, now the next 2 weeks we just go out and try to win, and icing on the cake, so to speak. So it was a huge confidence booster for us. I mean, we had just those few weeks leading up to the chase, we felt really good about our program. We felt really good about where we were. I felt like we were doing everything right, and to go in there in Chicago and prove it, not only to everybody else but to ourselves that we are here, we're serious, we can get after this championship. It was a big step for us. So the first round went awesome. Last week obviously didn't go as well as we would have liked. You had a little issue there, part failure at the end of the race. But aside from that, I think that the team has done a great job. We've had a lot of confidence, momentum, and really just been solid and consistent and not made mistakes. And that's what it's going to take. So we've got some work to do this weekend to get back to where we want to be, but feel great about coming here to Kansas and what we've been able to do here in the past. Hopefully with, the position we're in now, we can take advantage of, all the things that we've been doing well and finally close the deal here at Kansas.
Did it surprise you just to break the win 2 of the 3, knowing that those other guys have, win to be able to meet, they would automatically advance and kind of ratchet things up a little bit?
It didn't surprise me that we won, I don't think. I mean, we had, like I said, we had a lot of confidence going in there. I mean, just, Richmond and Darlington and those races just really gave us a good, pep in our step and a good feeling leading into the chase and a good attitude. And, we just kind of went out there and did our thing and turned it into 2 victories. So, felt like we almost could have won all 3 races of the first round. And that was just, that's a huge accomplishment for us, after last year going throughout the chase and not having any wins and making it to the Final 4. It gave us a lot of confidence that, if we can continue to be smart and do the things that we know how to do, we can get far in this thing. But at the same time, it's, you go to the next round, everything's back to 0, and you have a bad race, and all of a sudden your attitude changes to, holy crap, what just happened? Just a week ago we were the points leader. So anything can happen. You got to stay focused. I think we've got the right attitude, and we've certainly got the speed to get it done. We just need to make sure we make it happen.
Okay, we're going to go to Nate, then to Lee, and then to Randy.
Thought it was working there for a minute.
Yeah. Hello. Okay. It's a lot of build-up for a question. Will certainly
be a
not
good
meet the
one.
build-up. Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Following up on Claire's question, Martin, about the decision not to test Homestead. Is that something that you guys decide collectively as a group, or is it something where they solicit your opinion and then Joe Garone and Cole Pern kind of make that decision? And did you, if it was up to you, would you have wanted to test regardless?
We were kind of on the fence with it for a while, trying to just, it was just kind of sitting there all the time, and we'd talk about it a little bit, and then we'd move on, and we'd, wait and talk about it a couple weeks down the road. It just seemed like every time we talked about it, it was like, I don't know that, I don't really think we should do it. I think we should, continue to focus on the things that we've been doing. And, ultimately, I think Cole made the decision to say, all right, that's it. We're not going to do it. And he feels good about that. So I'm with him. I think he's making the right decision. We went to Homestead and tested the last 2 years and went back for the race, and we were awful. It gives you a false sense of security when you go to a test like that, a month ahead of the race. Weather's completely different. And you feel like you're good. You go back to the racetrack and it's completely different, and then you're like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what direction to head. You feel like you kind of get set in your ways a bit when you go to a test and it goes well. So it's good for us just to go in there and wing it and to do it the way we've done all year without testing. And we have tested a lot, but some of our worst races this year have been after tests, believe it or not. So it's an interesting thing, but I think we're making the right decision, but we won't know till Homestead.
We'll go to Lee, then to Randy, the Brant, and then we'll finish in the back with David.
SpencerMotorsport.com. What did you learn last year going to the final round that you're going to take with you this season that'll make you a more all-around, well-rounded team?
I think we learned, most importantly, that we were capable of it, and that it's really important to be consistent. Again, winning's great. We all want to get locked into the next round because it makes you feel good, and you don't have to worry about having that bad race or something bad taking you out of the chase, like we've seen happen to people last year, or even last week, for that matter. So it takes a lot of the anxiety out of your weeks leading up to the races. But at the end of the day, if you can just be consistent, be smart, you can point your way into getting to Homestead, and that's what we were able to do last year. At the same time, you have to be able to have the speed. You have to be able to win, because if you go to Homestead and you don't have the capability to win, you're not going to win the championship. So we learned a little bit about both sides of that, I think, last year that so far I feel like has helped us. But overall, I think just confidence in the team and each other, not letting that pressure get to everybody. I think everybody's just doing a really good job of, keeping the right mindset and not letting the pressure get to them. That's probably the biggest thing we learned last year, just because it's, you know, when you get to those cutoff races, or you're at Talladega, you know, in a cutoff round, and you're right there hovering around the bubble, it's a very stressful weekend. So I think that our guys got a good taste of that last year and did a good job with dealing with it.
Next to Randy.
Yeah, Martin, it's Randy again. Hey, talk about Denver, being that you're the one outlier, not in Charlotte. Just talk about for your team and your sponsor and everything, what does this race mean to you guys? And has that even added to the frustration of the last few years here?
The frustration's not really changed over the years. It's always been a difficult place for us to just, you know, like we said, we've been so close. But, you know, for Barney, for our team, this is the closest racetrack to Denver, Colorado. So this is kind of their home track. And we get a lot of fans from Colorado that say, hey, we came out from Denver to support the team, which is awesome. We get a lot of that here. And, you know, it's the shortest trip for Barney to come on Sunday, and usually brings the bigger part of his family here than he does at most places. So, yeah, it's great for those guys that you know, don't get to come to the racetrack all the time. But it's cool for a lot of our fans from out in Colorado and west of the Mississippi to get to a race to support their team.
Next to Bran.
Brant James, USA Today Sports. All careers have crossroads or forks or whatever cliche you want to use, and yours is no different. As you hit 400 and you're trying to win a championship, are there any in particular you look back on and think, that's pretty wild that I got from there to here?
There's a few big ones. I mean, obviously, 2013 after Richmond, that was, you know, that was probably the big one, which ultimately led me to this team that I'm at today. You know, there was a point in time there, Monday or Tuesday after Richmond, I was like worried if I'd ever get to race again. You know, you never know in this sport. It was so late in the season, you don't know what rides are open, all that stuff, and you know, to be sitting here just a few years later going for a championship is pretty amazing. So as bad as that week was, it led into some really good opportunities, and when bad things happen, you never really know what the future holds for you. And I just feel fortunate to be here and have another shot at it, and hopefully we'll take advantage of it.
David Scott with the Charlotte Observer. You touched on this a minute ago, but with Talladega on the horizon, all that can happen there, how urgent is it for you to win here and not have to worry about all that next week?
Well, we really would like to come out of here with a win. I mean, I think everybody would. It sure would make next weekend a lot more fun. I think the only one that's not worried about Talladega right now is Jimmy Johnson and his team, obviously. So it's not a must-win, obviously. I mean, we're in decent shape, but Talladega, you never know. I mean, you could very easily finish 40th there. You know, anybody could. So we'll just have to see. I mean, we'll do it all we can do. That's, you know, we're gonna do the best job we can this weekend and hope to have a shot at winning, and you know, hopefully we can get it done. But if we don't, we'll go to Talladega and race hard and hope for the best. But there's no guarantees. I mean, it's up in the air for everybody, and that's part of racing. That's part of this chase.
Well, Martin, good luck this weekend, and
Thank you.
Good to see you in 400.